Hey, y'all, quick word. I am driving, forgive me, but I had to just, come on here real quick and say this quick word real quick. So the other day, I was reading 2 Kings chapter 6, right? And in this chapter, Elisha was under attack, right? The Arameans, if I'm saying this correctly, you can go read it for yourself to make sure that it's pronounced correctly, or however we pronounce these words. Y'all know how these biblical words is. So anyways, the Arameans was upset with Elisha because he was letting the king of Israel at the time know what was going on in their camp. Anytime that they were about to attack, Elisha would know, and he would let the king of Israel know. Right? So they were upset. They wanted him dead. They wanted him gone because he was, giving them away through the Spirit of the Lord, of course. And so they planned this huge attack to go get Elisha. And when they came, Elisha and his armor bearer was at the door or whatever. And when they looked out the door, they seen all these horses and chariots and charioteers, and they seen all this big old large army. But Elisha did not have any fear, right? He even prayed to God to show his armor bearer, to open the armor bearer's eyes to see that they were not alone, that they were, covered and protected by the army of the Lord, right? So God did just that. He showed the armor bearer the army of the Lord. He opened his eyes. And so Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, Lord, make them blind. And the Lord made them blind. He said, Lord, he then led them to a town, the Samaritan town, right? So when they got there, the king was asking Elisha, what should they do with the people? Should they kill them? And, but Elisha said, no, don't kill them. Just feed them and send them back to their master, right? So the king did just that. They made a feast, they ate together, and they sent them back to the master, okay? And in this moment, it's God's grace, right? God's grace upon the enemy. So, long story short, Ben-Hadad, I can't pronounce his name, y'all. Ben-Hadad comes back to siege Samaria, right? And in the midst of that, the town goes dry. The town becomes in a dry season, right? So, and I looked up the king of the Arameans' name, right? His name was Ben-Hadad, or if I'm saying it right, again, go read the chapters for yourself. And I looked up his name in the Strong Concordance. His name was, it means like the son of a false god. Okay, so this king, who was the son of a false god, thought he was going to come to Samaria, which is a town in Israel, and capture it. But God dried up the land, because you think you finna come over here, capture my people, take what they have, but no, I'm gonna dry up the land. You don't own anything over here, because for one, you worship a false god. So I thought that was cool, right? The enemy thought he was gonna win, but he ended up losing. So the town is in this state of hunger. They're in this state of depression or desperation, if you want to say that, for lack of better words. So it was four outcasts with leprosy, right? They had it. They was done. They was ready to surrender. They was ready to throw in the towel. They was ready to give up. They said, look, it can either go two ways. They can either kill us, or they can take us as their slaves. So as they're going to surrender, these four men with leprosies, as they're going to surrender to the king of the Arameans, as they're getting there, the Arameans, God put like a mental attack on their brains to where they thought that the Israelites had come with other armies to attack them, right? So they fled the scene before the four men with leprosies could come and surrender. They had fled the scene, right? So when they left, when the four men got there to their camp, they like, the people is gone. Where are the people? So In this moment, I'm like, God, what are you trying to say? In a moment where you feel like you are ready to surrender to the enemy, in a moment where you feel like you are ready to throw in the towel and give up because the land looks dry, the land looks desolate, you're hungry, but you're praying, but your prayers feel like ain't been answered. You asking God, why do my finances look like this? Why is my family going through the things that it's going through? Why is my bloodline in such iniquity? How can I pull myself out of this, Father? And just when you feel like you've prayed enough, you've fasted enough, you've cried enough, you in your word enough, and you're ready to give up, you're ready to surrender to the enemy, that's when God is going to say, boom, I got you. Just when the man with the leprosy wanted to surrender, God made it to where they fled the scene, where the enemy fled the scene. They went to the camp and the camp was empty. There was no enemy there. There was no army there. There was no camp. It was empty, completely wiped out. They had fled the scene. So I don't know who's in a season where they want to give up. Whatever you're feeling right now, whatever it looks like right now, although it looks trying, although it looks hard, although it looks desolate, do not give up, because the moment you are ready to surrender is when God is going to do his best work, when God is going to come in there and swoop you up and say, well done. I'm going to reward you now. In that moment, the prices of food, the prices of flour, the prices of all the things that they needed to survive was so high. But the moment when the enemy fled their camps is when the prices went back down to one silver coin. God also said to Elijah to tell to the people that tomorrow the items that we all need to survive is going to be one silver coin. What can I call him? The security guard of the king, or the officer of the king. He said, I can't remember the words he said, but go read the chapter. I'm just putting it into my own words. He basically said, in other words, that'll never happen, because they was in a land where everything was so expensive, right? They was in a season where the prices for everything had went up because the enemy was on their land, taking their money, right? He didn't believe. He said, okay, not only will the prices go back down, you will live to see it, but then you won't even be able to buy. You won't even be able to reap the benefits of the prices going back to one silver coin. The officer died on the spot at the gates because the people were so excited that the prices had went back down to normal prices. But anyways, you will have to go and read the story for yourself. I thought it was so powerful. I thought it was so good, because in that moment where the 4 men with leprosy, they wanted to give up. They wanted to surrender to the enemy. But God was like, no, sir. No, sir. This is not going to happen. I got you. I got you. He made it to where the enemy felt like they were coming to attack them, but only 4 men were going. But God turned that thing around and the enemy fled the camp. So don't surrender to the enemy. If you do want to surrender to God, because he is all-knowing. He knows. He's already in 2026. You ready to give up because you don't know what 2026 is looking like. But don't give up, because he's already there. And this is for his children, right? This is for the believers. He's already there in 2026. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you in 2026 already. So don't give up. Do not surrender to the enemy, because the enemy is already defeated. God has already defeated the enemy. Okay? So lift your head up, rejoice, and be glad in this day, because God is so good. He is so faithful. He will bring you out. He will turn things around. Even when it looks like it's crazy, he will turn things around and he will defeat the enemy for you. He already did. Let's not mix that up. But in the little small battles that you're facing, the battle is already won. Somebody type that in the comments. The battle is already won. Okay? Y'all be blessed.